Hey HumeRidge, Coach Jess here, and I have Dr. Tanya Matchin back with me again. And as we heard last time, she is a lecturer, a senior lecturer at USQ. And you want to tell us a little bit about what you do again?
So I train psychologists and counsellors. That's what I do. So if you're in second year or fourth year, that's you're the students that I see. And I research. I do psychological research and counselling research.
So in other words, super smart. So I'm going to be asking you today, Tanya, because right about now it's coming through the media, our social media, that people are struggling to sleep, and that's probably because of stress and worry. And along with that is this term sleep hygiene.
Yeah.
Is that talking about how often we clean our sheets or what?
No, you should of course make sure you have clean sheets because that will help you sleep better. But sleep hygiene is more about all of those things that help you to sleep well. So, and most of us know what some of those things are. It's like, when was the last time you ate before you went to bed? And we've all had that sick feeling in our tummy when we've eaten too much. And we go, oh, I'm never going to do that again. But it's also making sure the room temperature that you have is a good room temperature, and about 18 degrees is what we aim for. Not too hot, not too cold. Mm-hmm. That the pajamas that you wear to bed, if you wear pajamas, are comfortable, but they're not too tight or too restricting. That your pillow is comfortable, that the blankets that you have on are comfortable, but also things like the amount of light that comes through. So this is a really big deal for shift workers who are trying to sleep in the middle of the day. They've got to make sure they have really full block-out curtains, but also things like blue screens, and it is a really big deal now because we know that it, if you like, wakes your brain up. So you've got to make sure that you put down those screens at least 30 minutes before you go to bed.
So what's your opinion on people who've got blue glasses, the ones that block out blue screens? Do you reckon does that make up for it?
I'm a bit old school. I think put it down and have some routines before you go to bed. And most of us have those routines without even thinking about it. So we tend to, like, what do you do before you go to bed? You probably clean your teeth, you go to the bathroom, you put on your pajamas, You might read a book.
Are you in my house?
Turn off your lights, go to bed. Most of us have a routine. We don't even think about it. And when that routine is upset, sometimes that can also impact on our sleep. So I know my grandmother always had warm milk or stout before she went to sleep, and that helped her sleep. And I'm not advocating that you need to be drinking alcohol or anything like that. But it's just, what is your sleep routine? So thinking about sleep hygiene is a really good opportunity for you to think about your sleep routines, and are they working for you, or are you going to bed and just lying there for ages and ages and ages? In which case those breathing exercises can be really good. People talk about counting sheep, but I'm much more about putting your hand on your chest and one hand on your tummy and just taking those hands for a ride and just counting the number of seconds between your breath. All of those sorts of things can just help to calm your brain down. There's more research coming out all the time that rather than lying in bed, if you can't get into, you don't fall asleep, after 20 minutes get up, but do something really boring. I'm talking about read your phone book.
Right. I'm not even sure I have a phone book anymore.
Yeah, I know, but something that is completely boring that doesn't engage your brain. Make sure you don't turn the lights on, that you keep everything as low and as muted as possible.
No, I have definitely heard, don't suffer in silence is how it's put to me, that after 30 minutes, if you can't fall asleep, get up, but do something boring, like reading a phone book, ironing, I don't know.
Ironing could be boring for you. It depends. I mean, what's boring for me is going to be different to what's boring to you.
It's true. Some people do love a good iron, don't they?
So I think just be mindful. Think about what does bore you, and get up. Don't be a martyr. And if you have, days and weeks and months of not sleeping well, go off and see your professional. Because there are a large number of our population that are suffering from insomnia. And sleep disturbances can also be indicative of some sort of physical disorders as well. And of course, menopausal women will know that that's one of the signs of menopause is oftentimes disrupted sleep.
Yeah. Does that 20-minute don't suffer in silence, 20 minutes, get up and do something boring.
Yeah.
Does that count if you fell asleep and then you woke up at, say, 2 a.m. and you're having that same trouble?
Get up.
Get up.
So one of the things that I've done recently, thinking about my sleep more often, is I bought a Fitbit.
Hey.
So it's really great. It tracks my steps and whatever else. But the thing I got it for in particular was to think about what my sleep was actually like, and because oftentimes we wake up and we go, "Oh, I didn't sleep a wink last night." Whereas I can get up and say that, and then I look at my Fitbit and it's like, "Oh, actually, I slept for 6.5 hours." So I think from my point of view, it's about managing your expectations. If you think that you're not going to sleep, and if you start to dread going to sleep, that's also going to have an impact on you.
Yeah. I know something that I started doing is that when I have times where I wake up at 2 a.m. or something and I can't fall back to sleep, is that I actually get up and pray.
Yeah.
And prayer is something that you can do.
Absolutely.
Do in the dark. Something before bed that I've done. I remember for many years I kept a prayer journal right before bed. And that can be helpful too.
I love that 2 o'clock in the morning prayer time, because oftentimes I'll lie there and I'll go, okay, God, who am I going to pray for now? And people will just come to your mind and you just pray for them. You don't know why you're praying for them, you just do.
Yeah.
And usually I fall asleep in the middle of those prayers, which is maybe not so good. But at least I feel like I've accomplished something as well.
Yeah, I love the concept of, when Samuel kept hearing that,
Yep.
Samuel, and he kept going and going, yeah, I'm here. And he's like, no, the Lord is trying to talk to you. And so now when I'm awake, I'll just go, speak, Lord, your servant is listening.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that can be something you can try as well. So sleep hygiene, yes, wash your sheets, but it's a whole lot more than that. It's about your routines and patterns 60 minutes before bedtime. So make a comment. What do you do before bed that helps you go to sleep? And we'll see you next time. Bye.